So I'm working on the soldering for the kit. I'm at this step where you have to put the transmission together, and I have to solder my motor leads, the connectors, and I'm working on an independent light system for the G6. I have an Axial simple LED controller here, which I've soldered micro DINs onto one side. Here's a voltage regulator that I've soldered micro DINs on the outside and a Traxxas plug on the inside. And what I hope will happen when I use this is that when I plug this 7.4 2-cell LiPo into this, it will drop the voltage down to acceptable level for the Axial simple LED controller. I've already done all the soldering. If this will work, it'll all work when I connect it. I figured I'd do it on camera just so just you could see it. So as I said before, this is a 2-cell LiPo, 7.4. That's the max voltage that this can take. It doesn't recommend taking any higher or lower. Voltage regulator takes from 7.4 down to 6.5. So from 7.4 to 6.5, which I assume that receiver puts out 6.0 volts to the simple LED controller. I'm figuring with pulses and everything, 6.0 will be an acceptable rate for the LED controller. So I got that wired up. I got rid of the servo connectors just for ease of disconnect and reconnect. This is also, I can mount this to the roof of my G6 and not have a wire connecting the body to the chassis. So now I got the simple LED controller connected to the voltage regulator. This is an extra strand of Axial LEDs that I'm going to use. So I'm going to plug that into the simple LED controller like normal. They're brand new, that's the only reason they're in that plastic. And I'm going to plug this battery into this voltage regulator. If it works, those lights should light up. If it doesn't, either nothing will happen or that LED controller will burn up. So we'll see what happens right now. This battery is fully charged, by the way. Not fully charged. It's at around 88%, so probably pushing just about 7.4. So do the connection.
Team Baxter.
And look at that. It worked. So now I have an independent LED light system for the roof, and it is bright. I'm gonna leave this on for a few minutes and make sure it doesn't burn up. LEDs seem to be burning a little brighter than normal, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Axial LEDs tend to be a little dim at some point, so I was so worried about hooking that up, but now it works and everything's cool. Now I'm going to move on to soldering up this energy motor I got for the G6 build. I got this energy motor. I'm a big fan of the Axial motors. I'm trying a rebuildable motor here, and this is a cheap rebuildable. It's just something for me to see how it works. I figure if this dies, I can change the brushes in the field instead of pulling the whole motor out. So this is what I'm going to use. Soldering on with DINs wires and Traxxas bullet connectors. Now that I know this system works, I'm going to solder up another micro DINs with a switch, an inline switch, so I can turn this on and off and conceal this from the bottom of the body. And I'm going to purchase a smaller 2-cell battery to accommodate this setup. so that I can Velcro it to the bottom of the body. Got all the soldering done. The regular motor. Got this energy motor all soldered up with Castle CC bullets on the ends, and I did my shrink tubing on there. And I also got the light system soldered and wired up. I've got the Axial simple LED controller, soldered up mini Deans to a voltage regulator, which takes a 7.4 in and pushes out a 6 to 6.5, something like that, voltage, and then a mini Deans there to a switch in order to be able to turn all this on and off. I tested this out with the large Traxxas LiPo, and after I got it working, I needed to get a smaller LiPo, so I ran up to the hobby shop and picked up a small Thunder Power. This is a very thin battery, very thin and light, and I'll be able to attach some Velcro to the back of this and stick it to the bottom of the body. And plug this in and flick this switch, and there's the lights working. So this will all be independent and attached to the body. That way I don't have the cord running from the body to the chassis. So that's all the soldering I need to do. I'm going to start building the transmission, which is why I started soldering, because I have to attach this motor to the transmission. So all the soldering's done. Now moving on to the transmission and the actual chassis build.